Okay, picture this. You give absolutely everything you have, your money, your hard-earned dreams, and just unquestioning faith to someone you consider family. And then it all just vanishes into thin air. Today, we're diving into an explainer that really unpacks a powerful, honestly terrifying narrative. It's all about the devastating cost of the ultimate betrayal. It feels like a dark cinematic thriller, but it's actually a very grounded, very real lesson about human nature, friendship, and, well, resilience. Let's start from the beginning and see how a lifelong bond just completely unraveled in a matter of seconds. Brother, I have cheated you. Just 5 words. The entire reality of this story literally fractures with just those 5 words. I mean, let the weight of that sink in for a second. This wasn't some long, drawn-out confrontation, no messy legal dispute. It was just a brutal, direct confession delivered digitally. Imagine staring at your glowing screen in the dark and seeing that exact text. That is the precise moment where a person's whole world just gets turned upside down. So it's the midnight message, 1 a.m. At 1 in the morning, the world is dead quiet, right? You're entirely alone with your thoughts. And then the sheer disbelief washes over you. Reading those horrific words at that hour, knowing they were typed and sent by literally the single most trusted person in his world, man, it's the kind of psychological shock that just paralyzes you. You read the text over and over, desperately hoping your eyes are somehow playing tricks on you. Now, to really wrap our heads around the magnitude of this shock, we've got to rewind a bit and look at their history, an unbreakable bond. This wasn't just some casual acquaintance or a business partner he met at a networking event. The connection was so deep, so rooted in shared history, that it was basically brotherhood. Looking back at these warm, nostalgic memories, it honestly makes the dark reality of that 1 a.m. text message seem totally impossible. Like, no way this could actually happen. Because they literally grew up together. From childhood, they ate together, they dreamed together. People in their community used to actually say their friendship will never break. So the absolute key takeaway here is that our protagonist trusted this friend more than his own biological brother. That's the massive foundation we're dealing with. A lifetime of shared experiences and this absolute unquestioning loyalty that makes you believe, yeah, I know this person's soul. And naturally, that unshakable foundation led straight to the next major life decision. Step 1, start a small business together. They had this shared, beautiful vision for the future. And then comes step 2. This is where the whole concept of blind trust really kicks in. He handed over all his life savings to this friend, every single penny. He thought, we're going to be successful together. It's such a hopeful illusion, isn't it? You invest everything because you implicitly believe in the dream. But that anticipation, that's exactly what makes the tragedy hurt so incredibly much. Because he had absolutely no idea what was waiting for him just around the corner, the ultimate betrayal. Those dreams of shared success, yeah, they were nothing but a carefully constructed smokescreen for a completely devastating fate. All that childhood nostalgia we just talked about, it was about to be completely weaponized. The morning after that midnight text is just terrifying in its simplicity. He rushes to the shop. Locked tight. He desperately tries calling his friend. Phone's off. He checks the office. Completely empty. Just imagine that raw, escalating panic. Every closed door, every dead dial tone, every empty room slowly confirming the horrific truth of that text message. The person he trusted most was just gone. Like a ghost. And then comes the final, absolute crushing blow. He checks the business bank account, hoping against hope. 0. Not a single taka left. The account was entirely drained. The closest person in his life hadn't just walked away. He meticulously planned to flee with absolutely everything they had. The silence of that 0 on the screen is deafening. It's the sudden, violent loss of a lifetime of savings and a lifetime of trust just wiped out in a single stroke. What followed were, without a doubt, the darkest days. He found himself totally unable to trust anyone anymore. And honestly, how could you, when your absolute anchor to reality just cuts the line? There were countless nights spent crying in total isolation. And to make it all worse, there was the public mockery. The exact same people who used to admire their unbreakable friendship were now laughing at him. He was utterly alone in the ruins of his own life. But here's the thing. He absolutely refused to let this tragedy break him permanently. Let's fast forward. We go through that agonizing day of betrayal, through those awful nights of public mockery, to 2 years later. 2 long, grueling years of rebuilding, from the ground up, in the exact same city.
Same city, same people, but a completely different reality. We are looking at an incredibly powerful comeback. The power dynamic has totally shifted. He didn't run away from the city that saw his downfall, you know? He didn't hide, he stayed. He planted his feet, and he fought back to reclaim his life.
And that brings us to this undeniable role reversal. On one side today, through relentless hard work, sweat, and just sheer willpower, our protagonist has become entirely successful on his own. He built it all back from zero. And on the other side, the betrayer. The friend who stole everything is now wandering that exact same city, desperately searching for a job. The contrast here is just stark. It's cold, and it's undeniably poetic. It's ultimate proof that, sure, someone can steal your money, but there is absolutely no way they can steal your drive, your character, or your true capability. Which really leaves us with a painful but absolutely necessary truth: the price of trust. Not everyone stays with you in life. We all want to believe that loyalty is forever, right? Especially with the people we hold closest to our hearts. But sometimes it's precisely those people who are perfectly positioned to deliver the harshest, most destructive life lessons we'll ever endure.
And that brings us to the real moral of this whole explainer. Trust, but don't close your eyes. I really want you to let the weight of that lesson sink in. It's not telling us to become cynical or to just never trust anyone again. If you do that, the betrayer wins forever. It's saying to trust, yes, but keep your eyes wide open. Don't get so blinded by history or shared dreams or love that you just ignore reality. Blind trust, trust without any boundaries, that is exactly what carries the devastating price tag. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Have you ever trusted someone with your eyes completely closed? Really think about your own relationships, the fragile nature of trust that we all navigate every single day, and who currently holds the keys to your life savings or your heart. It's a chilling narrative we've unpacked today for sure, but it's a lesson we absolutely must carry with us. Keep learning, keep trusting, but always, always keep your eyes open.